This iPad Air came out in 2022. It's got the M1 chip, a beautiful display, and you've probably seen it pop up in every refurb deal in the last year or so. But here in 2025, is it still a good buy, or should you spend some extra cash for something a little newer? Hey, I'm Cody, and this is Tech with Cody. I make simple and honest reviews to help you figure out what's actually worth your money. So let's dive in. From the outside, the iPad Air 5 still looks modern. It has a slim aluminum build with flat edges and that same 10.9-inch liquid retina display with great color and brightness. It definitely feels nearly identical to the newer Airs, and the Touch ID is still in the power button, which works smoothly. Unfortunately, there's no Face ID in these models though. It does use USB-C, but it's not the Thunderbolt speeds you'll find on the iPad Pros or the newer M3 Airs. Alright, let's talk about the colors and the specs, because if you're picking up a new iPad, you probably want to know what you're really getting. The iPad Air 5th Gen comes in 5 colors: Space Gray, Starlight, Blue, Pink, and Purple. The blue and purple were brand new when this model launched, and probably still hold up as some of Apple's most fun finishes. The Starlight is basically a soft gold, and the Space Gray is definitely going to be your safe bet if you're not really into that much color. So under the hood, this iPad Air packs Apple's M1 chip. And yes, this is the same one that they put in the MacBook Air and the iPad Pro at the time. It gives you an 8-core CPU, an 8-core GPU, and 8 gigabytes of RAM across all the models. You also get storage options of either 64 gigs or 256 gigs. There's no middle ground, which is kind of weird or frustrating depending on how you look at it. But if you plan on installing some big apps or doing some creative work, I'd highly recommend the 256 or get an external hard drive that's compatible with the iPad, like the Samsung T7 Shield. So in terms of style and power, it's just kind of like the perfect blend. Just make sure you choose a color that you're actually going to enjoy looking at for the next few years. Now, how's the performance? Here's the shocker. The M1 chip still absolutely flies in 2025. I've used this for everything from multitasking with Safari, productivity work, and some light gaming. Even in 2025, this thing still runs like a dream. Is it as fast as the M3? No, but for most people, you probably won't even notice. For people like students, creatives, or just a casual user, this thing is going to be plenty of power. The display is super sharp and colorful, but it's only 60 Hz. So if you're used to ProMotion displays, you'll notice that the scrolling isn't as buttery and smooth as some of the other models. But still, for media reading or writing, it's fantastic. Now, let's get into the Apple Pencil, because nowadays it seems like everything goes hand in hand with the Apple Pencil and the iPad that you're going to be doing on this thing. It does support the Apple Pencil 2nd Gen, which does charge magnetically on the side, and that's definitely a huge win for artists, note takers, or even digital planners. It does also support the Apple Pencil USB-C, which does connect magnetically to the side of the iPad, but it won't charge it, which for some people that could be a huge downfall. So my recommendation would be to grab yourself an Apple Pencil 2nd Gen to use with this thing. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Now let's talk about the battery life. I'm still getting 8 to 9 hours of mixed use. That includes watching YouTube, browsing, taking some notes, and doing some gaming. That's not that bad considering that this iPad's 3 years old and the battery's still going pretty strong. The speakers are stereo and it gets decently loud, but it's no iPad Pro, so still totally fine for watching Netflix or YouTube or listening to some music. The front camera's decent, perfectly usable for FaceTime or Zoom meetings, but the rear camera, it's okay. It gets the job done, but let's be honest, you're not going to be taking photos really with an iPad. One thing to keep in mind, there's no Face ID and no ProMotion, and just remember the storage does start at 64 gigs, so be sure to plan to have another source of storage if you're going to use this thing to its max. Not for one of the real reasons you're probably watching this, the price. You can often find this iPad under $500, sometimes even under $400 if it's refurbished. That, in my opinion, is a great deal for everything that this tablet offers. Currently on the Apple Refurbished website, you could pick up this exact iPad for only $379 with Wi-Fi and 64 gigs, or $499 for 256 gigs. Obviously, the price will go up if you want to add the cellular connectivity though. You also may be able to find it cheaper on Amazon or eBay, but just be careful that you're buying a quality product from a third-party website. The newer M2 and M3 iPad Airs that got released in 2024 and 2025, they start in the area of $599 and they go up quickly. So if you're on a budget and still want something powerful that still feels and looks modern, the M1 Air is definitely a serious contender. So Should you buy this iPad Air 5th Gen in 2025? My opinion is if you want pro level speed without the pro level price and you don't mind skipping the Face ID or 120 hertz screen, it's still 100% worth it. But if you're all about the latest and greatest tech and you care about stuff like smoother scrolling, faster ports, and a better battery, I'd probably look into the M3 iPad Air. So if this video helped you out, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. I'll definitely have many more honest tech reviews come your way very soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Again, leave me a comment, give me some feedback, let me know some other tech reviews that you'd like to see, and I'll have some more videos out soon. See you on the next one.